you have used a computer in the last 15 years, you probably have used a graphical user interface. A graphical user interface is one of the main aspects of a computer that simplifies the process for the user. The aspects of a graphical user interface includes icons, windows, mouse, and desktop metaphor. A graphical user interface is also referred to as a GUI or GUI interface. Before the great invention of the graphical user interface, people used a command line interface. A command line interface was quite intimidating to use for the average Joe, so to speak. DOS, Disk Operating System, was one of Microsoft's earlier operating systems, which used a command line interface. With this invention of the graphical user interface, it made computers more attractive to the average consumer. The first step towards a graphical user interface goes back to 1969 with the invention of the mouse by Douglas Engelbart, XY indicator he called it. 10 years later, in 1979, Xerox developed the Xerox PARC Alto. It wasn't a commercial product, yet 2,000 units were made. Xerox later developed another computer, the Xerox Star. This time it was a commercial product, costing about $16,000 per machine. But you had to buy at least 2 machines and a name server, plus a printer. So the price was $50,000 to $100,000 for one installation. Here's an actual demonstration of the Xerox Star from 1984.
The display screen shows your working environment. We call this the desktop. It is an electronic analog for an office. On the screens are small pictures or icons representing familiar office objects. This turned black because I pointed to it with the mouse and clicked the mouse button. We call this selecting the object. Selected objects highlight in reverse video. You can then operate on the selection with the delete, copy, move keys, and other keys.
As you can see, the Xerox Star is probably very similar to what you have on your computer today. The Xerox Star failed commercially, but they led the way for today's computer industry. Xerox Labs also developed the Ethernet cable, which is the foundation for today's internet.